Hello, I'm APX Toycat, and a brand new beta and preview are now officially out for a brand new Minecraft Bedrock update 1.20.40. This has some big implications for Minecraft Bedrock updates as a whole, but it's also very exciting because this does include all of the new villager changes, the controversial ones and the experimental ones, like the new ways that villagers link together for maps, and also the brand new armor trades, which include the most valuable trade Minecraft Villagers has ever been able to offer you at over 40 emeralds for just a single item. There is a lot of crazy stuff inside of this update, and I'm excited to go through it with you because it includes the best Minecraft feature in terms of parity we've seen. Look at this, I'm riding a boat off a very high object, and look at the full damage I'm going to take. That is none compared to what it looked like before, which was quite a bit. This is alongside a whole host of other changes, and let's go through them in today's beta video. With that said, I'm very excited to go through and kind of explain the villager trading systems as a whole. I've gotten the 3 types of villagers right here, and I've got really fun visualizations of each, which should hopefully help you explain the full village system and what Mojang are looking to do so far, because there is more down the line, but it is worth mentioning, first of all, this is a 1.20.40 beta, and they do intend to, as always, fix some bugs. Some of these bugs are the sorts of things you genuinely would have never known were bugs unless you'd seen them before, so there is now a noise for filling a glass bottle with water. As you can see, it's kind of metallic and clanky for my liking, but now there is also a noise for putting this water bottle in a cauldron. Do you hear that? It's got kind of a splashy thing, and also for taking it out, and then more interestingly, for drinking the water bottle. It sounded like there was a water bottle sound before, and you might recognize this, but wait. Did you hear that? You might have not have spotted it, because I talk a lot, but as you can see, if we do it again, there is that weird kind of replenishing effect that is almost like you chugging the water and then having a nice little swallow. I don't know what it's meant to be, the empty glass bottle maybe? But yeah, there is a brand new sound for glass bottles. They put in a lot of parity changes related to these. They've also done quite a few other things related to parity, which I honestly, again, you might not assume this is weird, but did you know right now, wither skeletons and skeletons share a set of noises? This is not how it's meant to be. Again, weird facts about Minecraft you learn exclusively by seeing Minecraft fix these things. And so let me show you something fun. By switching away from peaceful, where the ghast won't kill me, into a difficulty where the ghast do want to kill me, this is a wither skeleton, right? And here's the noise when oh, he hit me through the wall. Here is the noise when I hit the wither skeleton. Do you notice how it's different than how it is right now? Very, very strange, right? It is very, very, very odd in my opinion. And yeah, I just think that these are the sorts of things you don't realize exist until, wow, it's too late. Speaking of, by the way, I'm going to heal up from this. You might notice something interesting, which is that previously, having a really long titled name would be covered up by the oxygen meter, or by golden apples, or even by the mount that you're on if it had too many health bars. And so here is an interesting change that they've decided to make. They've decided to make sure that the name of the item that you're holding will always display in front of those things. So I'll eat a golden apple right now, as you can see. Now the text just goes up and above, and so there is no risk of these things colliding, which is a pretty good way to make sure you can always read your cracked polished blackstone bricks, which is everyone's favorite Minecraft item. So yeah, though there is a bunch of other bug fixes in here, such as sheep, if you shear them and then they regrow their wool and you kill them, they used to not drop wool, which they should have done, but now they will. Such as rabbits will now be able to eat your carrot plants. You know, I'm not sure if I love that one, but it is in fact a bug that they have fixed. And then more interestingly are the changes they've made, which are obviously behind an experimental toggle. So keep in mind, not only is this a 1.20.40 beta, so the next update coming out in it's coming out presumably either a week from now or 2 weeks from now on Tuesday. So I guess that's what do we say that, like 5 to 12 days? In 5 to 12 days, you'll have a brand new update that won't include these changes, and even in this update, it is behind an experimental toggle. You need to specifically enable the villager trade rebalancing, which they are doing for both Java and Bedrock, and although these changes are basically the same, because of the way that Bedrock is different, they're wrapped up in a little bit of a different way. So I'll go into that in a second, but I've just remembered I made this really fun diagram. I have to show it to you right now. Look at this right here. This is the respawn radius that Minecraft Bedrock has by default. A 5-block radius, so imagine this square around me, these cracked, polished blackstone bricks. This is the radius which you can spawn in from your respawn point. This is how it works right now in Minecraft Bedrock. However, in Java, I've got a fun little map here to show it to you. If you look on Java, the green is, oh wow, there you go. The green square is the respawn radius on Bedrock, while the orange square is the respawn radius on Java, until this update where the orange is the respawn radius for both. If you look at them in actual person, by the way, look at the size of that orange square. Had to pick orange, right? But the orange square is now going to be the respawn radius, which means you'll spawn in slightly different places depending on when you load into a world. This has quite a lot of interesting implications that most people don't care about, but I think are fascinating. Speaking of things most people don't care about, but I think are fascinating, the cartographer villager is not really that widely used, right? And honestly, if you were to use them, it would be very hard to get them around from biome to biome. Although, good news is, by the way, this is something I definitely didn't discover by bringing my villager around from place to place, but the boat damage thing doesn't just apply to you, it applies to, say, hypothetically, a cartographer as well. Oh wait, do I have to, oh no, what are you doing in there, friend? What are you doing in here? But it doesn't just apply to you, it applies to cartographers and every single other mob in Minecraft, including drowns if they happen to be there, and this means something very fun. Oh, that's weird how he repositions himself. Okay, that was a bit of an ordeal, but yeah, I had myself a jungle villager who got here in no small part because he could resist full damage, as you can see here. Oh, okay, he's fine. He can't resist lava damage, so I'm very glad he didn't, but I have traded with him, and you'll notice something interesting, which is that he'll still trade me Ocean Explorer maps, and if I really want to go down the list, I'll get the Woodland Explorer map too, but he'll also sell me something brand new, the Swamp Explorer map. So this Swamp Explorer map is a very interesting concept, because now you can find different biomes around your world, and in fact, the game specifically tries to not just find you the biome, but also the rare structure within it. So every single one of these 5 biomes has a village which you can find on the maps, while these 2 biomes will have a jungle temple and a swamp temple, or the witch hut as we insist on calling it, found on there by default. This is a pretty big deal because it obviously means that now you can go around and look for brand new village types. If you're curious, by the way, it seems like it's random. Like my jungle guy just gave me a random swamp map, and then my plains villager is going to give me a random tiger village map, which we'll put one in each hand right now, just to be fun, right? So here are 2 brand new maps for 2 brand new biomes. I have to go this way to reach my tiger biome, and I have to go this way to reach my swamp biome. Wow, isn't that fun? I get to make decisions, and you can clearly see that my tiger village map is quite a clear one. Does it say, yeah, it's called a tiger village map even, but that it can lead you to the biome as a whole. This is a hugely positive improvement to cartographers. Each biome will now be able to link you to other biomes, and in case you think it's random, it's actually not. In fact, there is a really fun linking system going on, which we have a great diagram of right here. I really enjoy this personally. You can see this from overhead here, or I've even, again, the wonderful thing about maps is you could use that right over here to show the actual linking between all of the biomes. So if we take a look at this, you can see, for example, when you are in a plains village, you will always get linked to one of 2 different biomes, either the taiga or to the savanna village. When you're in a savanna village, you'll get linked to either the jungle, as you can see, bamboo, or to the desert, or indeed to the plains. The plains and the savanna have a both directional relationship, same with the taiga and the regular plains, and so every single biome links into every other single biome based on their closeness in terms of wet and dryness and hot and coldness. The swamp is a very cold and wet place, and so it links you to, wow, what do you know, other cold or wet places such as the taiga and the snowy taiga, while also linking you to the other rare, not findable village type, which is the jungle. Obviously, having a jungle villager is not something that is easily done. You have to have a villager be born all the way over there and then maybe bring him over to your right biome with a little bit of risk along the way, but this is the reward that you get, and so these 7 maps exist as a way for you to find every single type of biome if you can't already. I love this as a feature. I think this is objectively good. No one has concerns with it, because what people do have concerns with is this. This is a little bit of an excessive way to show it, but I really think it's important to go into the armorer trades, and last time we kind of went through every single one of them. Today I'll be going through just the most notable ones that will really affect your Minecraft world. So let's get straight into that, I guess. By the way, just everyone say thank you to Harrison for putting together all of these enchantments so you can see that, for example, Savannah villagers will give you curses, but yeah, let's get straight into it. So here is every single type of trade from every single biome of Armorer, and you can probably see already the extra complexity that Mojang has to add when they do separate each villager type into 7, but it does mean there are so many more types of trades, and to explain that simply, I'm going to be going through just the top 5 today. Top 5 Armorer trades after this trading update so far. I think 5 is a very clear contender, because although every single type of enchanted diamond armor now requires using diamonds, if you want to use the fewest emeralds possible to go with those diamonds, the Savannah villager, Mr. Orange over here, will give you some very cheap diamond armor. It's enchanted diamond armor that costs just a few emeralds. The catch is that it has the cursive binding on, and so this is a really solid set of armor for very cheap compared to crafting it by yourself, but at some point you have to admit you're going to die if you want want to get it off, which isn't necessarily great, but it is still reduced price deals, and that's why it's the 5th best trade, which is maybe not ideal. The 4th best trade, in my opinion, comes from the Tiger Village, because every single type of villager at their max level will buy iron from you as one of the potential trades. However, the Tiger Villager will buy diamonds from you, and selling diamonds by the block, by the way, to a villager might seem like a poor idea. I mean, if you think about it, having an entire stack of diamonds is still only going to result in about 6 diamond blocks. However, 6 diamond blocks would give you over 240 emeralds, because 42 emeralds a piece is insane, which means if you just take 9 emeralds for a block, and then you take 3 emeralds for one of these and 4 emeralds for one of these, for having yourself just, what is that, 18 diamonds, so about the same cost as having diamond armor anyway, you can get yourself a fully, a nicely enchanted blast protection set of armor. I think that this by itself is probably just a good way to justify the Tiger Villager, because the 3rd best trade has to be this guy taking any piece of diamond armor you give him and upgrading it to the next. Although every single other trade requires diamonds, this just requires having a piece of diamond armor, then you give him emeralds, and he gives you the next piece up. If you have boots, you can get leggings. If you have leggings, you can get a chest plate. And if you have these other trades, you can make poor decisions in your life, but ultimately being able to upgrade your leggings to a chest plate or your boots to leggings, and potentially even do 2 steps at a time, is absolutely insane compared to what we have right now, and is probably the best of the batch in terms of pure value. But it gets better than just pure value. What is the 2nd best trade on the entire list? I think it comes from the Swamp Villager, to be totally honest. So this does require making a swamp village from scratch, which isn't necessarily too hard. I think I'll do this as a fun challenge soon if you want to see it. My jungle village got cut out by my power, which is back, by the way, now. It's so terrible. I've got like a breaker box that is just so poorly wired, and I have someone around to fix it. It's a whole thing. But interestingly enough, if you go to a swamp village, and if I do that without my power going out, I'll be able to get mending on my chainmail armor. This is actually a very good thing, and you might think to yourself, why do you want mending chainmail armor? 1, to flex. Look at me right here. I have chainmail armor on that I have the best enchantment in Minecraft for. That is insane by itself, but actually you can make really good use out of this if you put all the best enchantments on these pairs, which you can buy on the earlier levels, and then later combine those with the mending. This is effectively an easy way to trade for mending, although you could argue if you're already in a swamp anyway, why not just trade for the book? Because still, just to briefly go through it, obviously you can go to a librarian and you can trade in a swamp potentially for mending, and you can trade in a jungle to get unbreaking. All of these trades will not be possible in each other's biomes after they update the villagers. Silk Touch will be Frozen Tiger only, which is fun. Fortune 2 will be exclusive to the regular Tiger. Then we'll have the Savannah and Sharpness. We'll have the Desert Villager and Efficiency, and the Plains Villager will give Protection. However, I think you're going to need to use those guys a lot more than you're going to want to trade for Enchanted Armor, because right now, as it stands, these trades just aren't very good, with one notable huge exception. I think going to a Desert Villager and buying Thorns is a really good trade. Even though you have to give him a few emeralds, sure, you give him 3 diamonds or 4 diamonds, which is half the cost, by the way, and you give him 18 emeralds, which is quite a few. If you are emerald rich, which you easily must be to get to this level, if you're emerald rich and don't mind spending a few diamonds, you can get Thorns armor. This Thorns armor can then be combined with your other diamond armor to make the most valuable and somewhat tricky to get enchantment, which is going to be a very, very valuable thing. But again, I think the realistic tone shift you can get from all of this is that Mojang wants you to trade with librarians more than armorers. I think when you compare the fact that you get mending on a book, which you can put anywhere, or you get protection free on a book, which you can put on your armor, versus if you give and by the way, that just costs emeralds, whereas if you want to get diamond armor, you have to pay diamonds, and you only get protection 1, so you pay diamonds a lot of times to combine it together over and over again to get something better. I think most people are going to use the librarian, which seems to be the kind of balancing factor of these nerfs, and that makes me think that next we're going to see the weaponsmith have a nerf, or at least split up into biomes, and I don't think that is necessarily a bad thing. I know the word nerf has a bad connotation in Minecraft, however, I think if they give each of the biomes, if they split them up into biomes like this, we get so many more trade potentials and so much more fun potential, and then after they do that, I think it's important just to say, yeah, let's be realistic with ourselves. If this was sometimes Protection 2, would it be too OP? If this was sometimes Curse of... oh, well, maybe a bad idea. If this was sometimes Blast Protection 3 or 4 even, it's still... if this was Blast Protection 4 all the time, I wouldn't say it was wildly OP, and so I think that obviously Mojang can look at that and say, yeah, maybe we went a bit too weak on this at first. I assume that's what might happen, but that's just my feeling on these things. To give you my full opinion here, wait. For the opinion section, I think it's important to have my face cam on. This is my opinions, and you can tell because it's my face over here. Look how much better it looks with the lights on it. I think to go into things very briefly, I would say looking at these sets of trades they've done so far, they really are looking to expand as many villager types as they can, and honestly, I'm excited for that. I know that the net effect is a slight decrease in the power level of villagers, but if it means you get fun new exploratory options like these Swamp Explorer maps, I genuinely think that's a good thing. Obviously, they could make these Swamp Explorer maps without bringing in the nerfs, but I think if they just find the right balance on this, Minecraft is going to be a much more fun game to play around with villagers in. You're going to want to do precisely that, and that is why I am genuinely excited. Having a Jungle Explorer map, or having a Swamp Explorer map, or having a Tiger Village map, which can lead you to biomes that you actually really want, is going to be real great, and yeah, I just really enjoy this visualization we've got right here. Can you appreciate it one more time before we go? And so yeah, what do I think about this? I think that the villager trading is a fun thing, and I hope that after seeing this, you realize that it's more fun than it is bad, and obviously it won't affect your existing villagers, so if you're playing Minecraft right now, you have OP villagers and you can totally enjoy that. What you can also enjoy is the fact that obviously this is a 1.20.40 beta, so to go very briefly into what that means, this means they are now doing betas for the next Minecraft update, which they believe is going to be 1.20.40. This this tells us what we probably already knew, which is that they're not going straight from an update, which is coming out soon, into 1.21. 1.21 is not releasing in October. You can be 99% sure, but you already kind of could be, but now you can be 99.9% sure because they're releasing 1.20.40, which is probably the October or November update, which means whatever we hear about at Minecraft Live is at a bare minimum coming out in December, but again, I think that tells us more realistically it's later in the year. The other thing it tells us is that 1.20.30, which will be our first update on Bedrock since 1.20.10, is going to be coming out very, very soon, because the last beta for that was last Thursday, and usually there is a 2, sometimes 3-week lead time between the last beta for an update and it actually coming out, which means the release date is definitely going to be either next Tuesday on the 12th, if I'm not mistaken on the top of my head, or it's going to be on the 19th, or if something goes horrifically wrong, the 26th. I am very curious if it's going to come with the bug that they introduced last week, or what they're going to fix, but that is something that we are now going to be having our eyes set on, because it will bring in a bunch of quality of life fixes, which you can be excited for. All of these villager changes are experimental at best, and realistically won't be coming out before the very end of the year, and instead you can be much more excited about 1.20.30 and its minor bug fixes, but also its improvements to things like Superflat. Also, I think the other thing that's important to note as far as what I think of here, I do think the amount they're focusing on these villagers makes me think that they are doing a serious rebalance of the game with the villagers, which means either we're getting something which relates to villagers or enchantments, or one of these systems which they think they need to nerf before that update comes out, because we're learning about the update in maybe a month or so. There is usually we learn about Minecraft Live on the first or second Thursday of the month. I think we're learning about Minecraft Live very, very, very soon, by the way. Next week seems like a lock-in, but again, this is just opinions, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what that is, what they announce, what we're gonna see, and when Minecraft Live will be. But that is everything for now. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, you might consider watching yesterday's on all the secret rooms and all of the structures in Minecraft. A lot of people like that one. It's one I'm really proud of. You can also check out my live stream. I'm playing Starfield right now, and you can also say that because I almost doomed a villager to death, that I deserve to die too, and you know what? I totally agree. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe, because I'll see you next time. Goodbye.